Well, it's a busy day at TD Place this weekend and a beautiful day for soccer as the Ottawa Fury FC take on the Richmond Kickers for the second time this season. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our broadcast. Jenna Mosier alongside me, Tyler McDonald. We're excited for this game, Jenna. The Fury have been playing very well. They come off their last USL win versus the New York Red Bulls, and of course that major win in the Canadian Championship versus Toronto FC. And two-game win streak coming into this one. They're feeling good.
Yes, and that's so important. They've got their momentum going. I think we're seeing the forward line really come together as a unit, cohesive. They just got to keep scoring goals. That's the key today. Keep scoring goals.
And for Fury, I mean, it was one in New York, as you're seeing that they absolutely stole it away. A 4-3, the victory there. 2 goals late in the game, and they take 3 points from New York in the in the USL standings. They now move up to 2 wins, so that's huge for them as well.
Yeah, and it's really important because, like I said earlier, they've got their momentum going, and now they can really focus on, putting balls in the back of the net and continue focusing on the glue that's holding that forward line together. They got to work together as one unit.
We saw in that Toronto FC game Tucker Hume being used a lot up front. He'll be up there again today with Williams and Cito, and they've been really pushing the ball forward toward Tucker, using him as a marker and a target man up front. You really like that, don't you?
And it also helps that he's a pretty tall target,
yes.
too. Yes, continue using him, and he's going to dish off balls. Continue using the outside midfielders as well and opening up that field, and then you can hit him right in the head with the ball once you get in the 18-yard box.
Well, Tucker's been playing very well so far for Ottawa Fury, and of course Williams and Cito up there on the front line. Callum Irving as well. He's been playing fantastic.
Oh, you can always depend on Irving back there.
No, absolutely. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have first half action. Graham and AJ will have the call for this one. It's Ottawa Fury FC versus Richmond. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Still plenty of time for Reno to make some noise here in their inaugural season. Brent Richards.
Oh, that's a fantastic
finds Kelly, and Dane Kelly. Goal!
And that is a fantastic ball from Brent Richards. Lindo Infeka was able to find a pocket of space, play it out to Brent Richards, and Richards with that first-time ball through the defense. Dane Kelly was on it in the first-time finish.
McLaughlin right outside the 18. Sends it across the middle. Koenig got a piece of it. And Danny Koenig has a goal for the first time in orange and blue. A huge early strike for FC Cincinnati, who's on top. Jason Johnson. A nice combination there with Watson. And a good challenge. As Billy Forbes trying to create a little space, and he does. Good run here by Forbes.
Wow,
nice ball for Tierpak. Can he get to it in the area? He can. Back for a Jake. It's in! Well done! San Antonio FC on the board.
Well, this is football at its highest level. Scintillating, fantastic explosive acceleration right here from Billy Forbes. And look at the outside of the foot. Just left on a platter. There's a snapshot right there. Angle back. And what a reaction finish right there.
Starting to get the ball into that zone a little bit more, Charlie.
They're looking to create the opportunities, guy. They have controlled the ball, and there you go.
Oh! And there it is. What a goal shot that was. Look at this. Look how far out he is. I mean, you didn't have a chance at this. That was as perfectly placed as any goal we've seen in 2 years.
This season or potentially next year. I think he's a good player. We talked about Dan Metzger before.
This one is lofted in for Ottawa. Sione from distance.
And welcome back. AJ Jakubek alongside Graham Ivory. It is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer on TSN 1200 Rogers and our stream. Back to USL play. How does Ottawa make sure they don't overlook Richmond as they get set for Toronto midweek?
Well, I think they take a lot out of what they did last weekend in New York, that 4-3 win. It saw them bump up the standings, and they have an opportunity today to kind of get back into that top 8, which is where Paul Dalglish wants this side to be. Confidence continues to grow. Offense is clicking, so I think the focus will be on this afternoon's match.
Let's have a look at our starting 11, and it's brought to you by Gabriel Pizza, Ottawa's bigger, better pizza. And for Ottawa, it's a much different lineup. They're going with a 4-2-3-1. Not necessarily different in terms of personnel, but certainly the formation that they're using. They've played the 3-4-3 all season long, and it's Callum Irving in goal. Andre Campbell, Ramon Martinez, Del Campo, Shane McElhaney, Eddie Edward, the back four. Anwar Bassi, Lance Rosebrook in front of them. Then you've got Cito, Jamar Dixon, and Ryan Williams with Tucker Hume, the lone man up top. And Graham, just when you look at that starting 11 as we are underway, big difference with Anwar Bassi pushing forward. You could see throughout the season, and in particular that game against Toronto, I mean, he is just so valuable going forward for this team, so why not put him in midfield?
Absolutely. The pressure that we've been able to see Ottawa apply on the opposing side's defense and midfield is the reason for their success in the last couple of games. They did it here Tuesday night against Toronto FC. They did it in New York last weekend, and that's why they were able to pull results out of that. If you look at the goals that they scored, it was them winning pressure in the winning the ball in the opposition half through the pressure that they created. And what we did see from Anwar Bassi, especially in that game Tuesday night against Toronto FC, his ability to go forward, and it just gives Paul Dalglish another attacking option without him having to sacrifice numbers on defense, with now Andre Campbell, Eddie Edward drawn back to play that flat back four.
And certainly Eddie Edward, no stranger to playing in that right back spot. Richmond going with a 3-5-2. It's Matt Turner in goal, back three of Braden Troyer, Milan Roberts, the ex-Ottawa Fury FC defender and Canadian international, and William Yambi from Cameroon. In midfield, you got Luis Fernando, Owusu Sekiri, Udai Amora, Chris Durkin, Raul Gonzalez, and the two strikers up top, Alhaji Kamara and Jackson Eske, as they push forward here on the right. Here's a left-footed drive from distance. Fernandez getting that on target, but not with a lot of velocity. Easily grabbed by the keeper, Callum Irving, and we're scoreless into the third minute here at TD Place. Fury wearing their all-red kits, moving right to left in this first half, and it's the white kits with the red numbers for Richmond, moving left to right in the opening 45 minutes. As Ottawa gets set for a throw inside the Richmond half. They work it in for Tucker Hume, chests it down, and now it's knocked off away from him and out for a corner. And this will be a corner from the far corner flag. It'll be Ryan Williams and Cito heading over. Likely a Cito left-footed in-swinger from this range. But Williams over there as well to keep Richmond guessing a little bit. McElhaney inside the 6-yard box and get a bit of a talking to from the referee today, and it is Caroline Chenard. We'll get to the assistants in a moment, and here's the delivery from Cito. It went out of play, so it's going to be a goal kick. The assistants are Philippe Bethes-Kwesi and Marie-Anne Gagnon-Chrétien, the fourth official, Pierre-Luc Lausier. So it's an all-triple name day for the officiating crew. Let's get to our keys to the game with Graham Ivory as we're in the fourth minute, 0-0.
Yeah, key number one, ride the momentum, coming off arguably the biggest win in club history over Toronto FC on Tuesday night. Fury have lost just once of their last 9 contests and have scored 9 goals in their last 4 games.
Good defending there by Andre Campbell to clear it outside of the Ottawa 18-yard box. As Richmond back in possession on the left-hand side. We'll get to key number 2 in a moment here as they work it forward. Now about 35 yards out. Ball in towards Kamara. He gets the header towards goal, but the offside flag was down, and that would have counted, and just missed the far post with that header. And a break for Ottawa Fury FC. It will be a goal kick for Ottawa.
Yeah, that was a well-timed run by Alhaji Kamara. Callum Irving didn't jump off his line right away. Kamara first to it, but unable to redirect it towards goal.
Key number 2.
Get the offense going at home. As we mentioned, Ottawa scored 9 goals in their last four games. They've scored 9 goals in USL action this year, but all 9 have come away from home. Fury FC need to get the offense going here at TD Place. And key number 3, focus on today with a massive game looming Wednesday night in Toronto. Fury must focus on the 90 minutes in front of them today as they look to continue their climb up the USL standings.
Yeah, that's a big one. Both teams played midweek, so no real advantage in terms of which team is maybe a little more fatigued.
Well, it's been a busy stretch, for both teams, because Richmond, they've played 3 matches in their last 7 days. They had a 1-1 draw last Sunday in Rochester, and then a 0-0 draw midweek against Toronto FC 2.
Here's Ryan Williams now with the cross, and that went off the back of one of the Richmond defenders as it comes back into the center circle, and Fury push this back towards their own keeper, Callum Irving.
And if you go back to the middle of the previous week, they lost their opening round match in the US Open Cup to Christos FC. So Richmond eliminated from that competition. So today's match marks their 4th match over the course of 11 days. So certainly a busy time for both clubs as they have cup competition in addition to league play.
Flag is up for offside against Richmond. 7th minute here at TD Place, 0-0. Beautiful day in the Canadian capital. And a crowd of over 4,000 on hand for this one. They had 7,611 midweek for that game against Toronto FC. For our Richmond viewers, up against Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, as Ottawa taking on Pittsburgh and lost that series. Was up against Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. The series, of course, went 7, with Pittsburgh winning in double overtime in Game 7. But I guess, imagine the Richmond Spiders or VCU playing in the Final 4 at the same time as a Kickers game, even if it was against MLS competition, and a 7,600 crowd for that one. That's basically what you got for Toronto FC. It would have been about 15,000 plus, I think, had there not been a conflict. But biggest hockey game in about a decade here in this city. And so split loyalties, unfortunately, and still a very good crowd for a terrific game against Toronto FC, with Ottawa winning 2-1 on the night to getting set for the second leg on Wednesday at BMO Field in Toronto, as Fury pushed forward here, and Ryan Williams has lots of space now, 30 yards out, lays it off for Cito just outside the penalty area, and now he is brought down dead center 20 yards out. So this is going to be a very dangerous spot for a free kick for Ottawa Fury FC.
Well, Ryan Williams is infuriated after he was fouled just as he releases the ball into Cito. Cito fouled just at the top of the 18-yard box, and now we'll see both number 7 and 11 stand over this set piece opportunity. Ryan Williams has 4 goals in all competition this season. He scored in back-to-back games, both on penalty kicks, whereas Cito, he scored 3 goals in his last 4 contests. He was the man of the match against Toronto FC, scoring the match winner in the 72nd minute. Both players looking very much in form right now.
Likely Ryan Williams to take this, but Cito in there as well. They could go either way because it's dead center. It'll either be the right-footed Williams or the left-footed Cito, but dangerous spot, 20 yards out for this free kick. It will be Cito, and Cito rips it home in the 9th minute with the free kick. Low bottom corner, near side, and Ottawa Fury FC have their first home goal in USL play this season. It's 1-0 Ottawa.
Well, is there a hotter man in Fury colors right now than Cito? A well-hit left-footed strike. Nothing Matt Turner could do as it gets in through the wall and beats him low to his right side. And through 9 minutes, Fury FC have the 1-0 lead, and that's a massive goal for Cito.
It is incredible. I mean, this is their 4th league game at home. Now, they have scored 3 goals in their 2 matches in the Canadian Championship. They beat FC Edmonton 1-0 on a late goal, 89th minute goal from Ryan Williams. As we hear the announcement on the goal. But yeah, the 89th minute goal from Ryan Williams helped put them on their way to beating FC Edmonton 3-1 on aggregate. Then they beat Toronto FC again midweek 2-1. The 3 league matches, a 0-0 draw against TFC2, so Ottawa apparently needs to play regular Toronto FC and not TFC2 to score and win at home. Then they had the 0-0 draw against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, followed by a disappointing 1-0 defeat at home against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. So flag is up for offside here again against Kamara. So yeah, 4th match and first league goal for Ottawa Fury in their entire history of USL at home.
Well, that's now 4 goals in 5 matches for Cito. And this was a guy who looked very dangerous for them in preseason. Had 5 goals in preseason play for Ottawa. And to start the season, just looked a little bit out of sorts. But much like we saw last year with Ryan Williams when he kind of made his debut in USL, you saw it in spits and spurts of the caliber of player that he was. But once he kind of got in form and accustomed to the team's style of play, playing against the competition in the league, a much more dangerous player Williams was to close out last season. Now that he looks fully fit, Ryan Williams has been dangerous, but Cito, he just looks so strong on the ball, as we saw leading to that foul that set up the free kick.
Ottawa currently 11th in the table on 9 points, but a win today would put them even on points with Rochester, Orlando, and Cincinnati, who are 5, 6, and 7, and they would have still a game in hand on Cincinnati. They'd be even in games with Orlando and would have played 2 more than Rochester. So bottom line is it's been a season where Ottawa started slowly in USL play, but it's a logjam, and another win today would really vault them up the table and into the upper half, which of course is a playoff spot. 8 of 15 teams make the playoffs in the USL East.
Well, the big thing behind Cito's goal is that Richmond has struggled offensively this year. Just 5 goals on the season. They have 4 straight draws and a loss coming into this one. They've scored 2 goals, conceded 3 in those last 5 fixtures. And they've only once this season have they scored 2 goals in a match, and that was a 2-1 win over Pittsburgh. Goals don't come easy against this team. They have the 2nd best defense coming into today's match in the USL Eastern Conference, 4th best in the entire USL.
Another free kick here for Ottawa. This will be left of center. So likely Ryan Williams with his right foot on this one. Just about level with the outside near line of the 18-yard box, and this is about 30 yards out for Ryan Williams, and he will deliver this as it's headed outside the 18-yard box, and Richmond will look to counter. This is sent out a touch by Cito, the Ottawa goal scorer in the 9th minute. As we're about to enter the 15th minute here at TD Place, 1-0, Ottawa Fury FC. And it'll be another Ottawa throw. Andre Campbell will take it. Looks to get this in for Tucker Hume, but Hume is called for the foul, and it will be a free kick for Richmond. -23 here today in Ottawa. Sunny, few clouds, but beautiful day in the nation's capital. For American viewers that don't really know Celsius, it's low 70s. I'm not suggesting all American viewers don't know Celsius. I'm just saying sometimes it's good to say the conversion for those that don't. Because not all Canadian viewers know Fahrenheit.
Well, I was going to say I appreciate that because my conversion to Fahrenheit is not that good.
Worked in for Kamara, and that deflects off him and to Callum Irving, and he'll scoop it up, and Ottawa players will push forward here towards the middle of the park. Irving for Tucker Hume. Wins the header, but it goes right to the Richmond counterpart of Callum Irving, Matt Turner. He's backed up today by ex-Ottawa Fury FC keeper Marcel DeBellis. Oliver also amongst those on the bench for Richmond. DeBellis spending 3 years in Ottawa, and Oliver with 2 years in Ottawa before moving on to Puerto Rico FC last year in the North American Soccer League. A cross here from Luis Fernandez, played on by Eske to Kamara. Irving grabs it now. Fury now in possession. It's Obasi down the left side. Obasi. Near touchline. Oh, nice work to get away from the defender, and he puts in the cross, but that's headed away. And Amura plays this forward as Ottawa regains possession. It's Andre Campbell, about 45 yards out. Down the left side, has some room, beats one defender, but couldn't beat a second. And here's Luis Fernando as it goes out of touch for a Richmond throw.
Well, that's exactly why you want to have a player like Onamo Obasi playing in a more advanced role and have the ability to go forward. We just saw in that last run, him making that run, turning his man at the goal line and whipping the cross into the box. That's what made him such a dangerous player and such an attractive player for Paul Dalglish to bring into his squad last year, in addition to his experience already in the USL with Rochester.
Great work by Lance Roseboom, shepherding that ball out of play, and it will be an Ottawa goal kick. 19th minute, 1-0 they lead on a 9th minute free kick goal from Cito.
25th anniversary season for the Richmond Kickers, and part of that will see them host Premier League side Swansea City on the 19th of July at City Stadium.
Swansea able to hold off Hull City to keep their Premier League status. As a run from the back and a good ball in, but well defended by Ramon Martin Del Campo as Ottawa trying to keep Kamara at bay. He has been dangerous and missed a free header early on, but now they've won a corner here in the 20th minute, looking to equalize as Amora will take this from the near corner flag. So Richmond push 5 players into the Ottawa penalty area. Amora will deliver this, a right-footed outswinger, near corner flag. Here's the delivery, and it's, Obasi's fouled, but referee says play on, but Obasi able to clear it as Williams creating some trouble here for Troyer, and Troyer plays it back to his keeper Turner. Comes back just short of the halfway line. Amora Goes down, free kick, Richmond Kickers.
Third season for Amira with Richmond. He's been sidelined with a hamstring injury for about the last month and turning to action this week. Richmond, of course, affiliated with DC United, have a pair of players in their starting 11. Alhaji Kamara and Chris Durkin, the 17-year-old who's part of the U.S. Under-17 men's national team program. DC United homegrown talent.
McElhaney plays this over the top. Edward looking to run onto it on the right, and that's cleared out by Troyer for an Ottawa throw. It'll be a long throw from Shane McElhaney. Plays this towards Tucker Hume, looking to win it. Two defenders on him, but he gets it down, and a left-footed shot is blocked. As it's sent back towards the center circle, and Ramon Martin del Campo won the header, but certainly took a hard foul in the process. Free kick, Ottawa Fury FC just inside their own half, 22nd minute, 1-0 Ottawa Fury.
Well, once again, you see why Tucker Hume can be so dangerous inside the 18-yard box. He's the reason why they were able to get that match winner against TFC, and again, just so strong on the ball and has those long legs to try and reach in. His shot was blocked, but another player. We talked about Cito, we talked about Ryan Williams and how they're blossoming right now for Ottawa. Well, Tucker Hume, his first professional season, scoring last weekend to open the scoring in New York against Red Bulls 2. Again, looking sharp here this afternoon.
Eddie Edward looking sharp on this attack, and Ryan Williams unable to keep this in play on the cross, so it will be a goal kick for Richmond in the 23rd minute.
Yeah, that ball put into Williams, who was making the run down the right side, just a bit heavy, so had to do work to get there and overpowered the cross.
Make sure you stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Richmond attacking now on the right side as they push forward, and it comes out for Sekieri. His ball broken up, and now Ryan Williams looks to counter for Ottawa. Williams wide left, Andre Campbell, halfway line. Back to Obasi. Now they push it across the back four. Again, Ottawa playing this 4-2-3-1 for the first time this season. Here's Obasi. Ryan Williams. Near touchline, Campbell. Now Williams for Obasi. For the captain, Lance Roseboom, center circle. Now Shane McElhaney. Pushes forward, 40 yards out. Launches this towards Hume. It's headed away by Yombi, and Yombi lets it go this time for his keeper, Matt Turner, and he'll hold on as everyone pushes back to midfield in the 25th minute. 1-0 Ottawa.
Goalkeeper Matt Turner, 22 years of age, joined Richmond Kickers from the New England Revolutions of MLS, played 2 seasons in PDL with the New Jersey Express, so part of the whole USL development pyramid.
Oh, good ball in, and Irving deflects this out, but he's clearly fouled. Jackson Eske going up for that one. But both are okay, and Fury with a goal kick here. Irving. Now it's played back to Turner, and we'll play this wide right. Raul Gonzalez gets it forward. Here's Amura. 45 yards out. Now plays this wide left. Ball in towards Sekieri, but doesn't get there, and Hume starts the attack for Ottawa. Now to Andre Campbell. Over the top for Cito. And it's headed away by Milan Roberts, and flag is up for offside against Ottawa anyways. Ball towards Kamara. And he's called for the foul on Del Campo, and he's hoping for a card here, and not going to see that. But it will be a free kick for Ottawa. Don't forget our next broadcast, at least on the radio side. It'll be TSN broadcast on the television side, but TSN 1200 will carry the big game on Wednesday from Toronto at BMO Field. Ottawa Fury FC looking to complete the upset against Toronto FC, up 2-1 in the Canadian Championship semifinal. Winner advances to the Canadian Championship against the winner of Vancouver and Montreal. As it's Yombi launching this high into the air. And Roseboom's got it for Ottawa as he plays it back inside his own half for Ramon Martin Del Campo. And Ottawa hoping for some more BMO Field magic, Graham Ivory. I know the Ottawa Sports and Entertainment Group, which owns Ottawa Fury FC and the Ottawa 67s, also owners of the Ottawa Red Blacks. They earned their Grey Cup rings last night, players and staff, and a big celebration in Gatineau, Quebec. And of course, they won those rings, or earned those rings, with a Grey Cup victory in overtime in dramatic fashion, an upset win over a 15-2-1 Calgary Stampeders team. Where was that game? Well, no other place than BMO Field. So Oseg hoping the magic continues in that venue.
Well, quite literally the same grounds as the last Ottawa Grey Cup that was won 40 years prior, so good part of Toronto for teams from this neck of the woods. But that will be a massive game, and I know that Tyler and Jenna will be talking about that match during our What's Trending segment at halftime, and looking at some of the players that will not be available for Toronto FC. So that will be a factor, albeit TFC got out whatever was ailing them Tuesday night at TD Place, last night at home at BMO Field, shellacking the Columbus Crew 5-0.
Yeah, international duty is going to certainly play an effect with the likes of Michael Bradley and Josie Altidore, who didn't make the trip to Ottawa. They will not be available. Of course, Sebastian Giovinco is injured. Should mention 10 of the 18 players that played in their last MLS match did play for Toronto last Wednesday, so it was a much stronger side. It certainly wasn't their strongest side because their 3 designated players all did not play, but it was a much stronger side than what we saw a year ago from Vancouver here when Ottawa beat the Whitecaps 2-0, and something Ottawa can be very proud of. And I don't know, certainly they can dress a stronger lineup, but only really slightly stronger because, again, they can't dress any of their DPs in Giovinco, Bradley, or Altidore, and so Raheem Edwards will not be available due to suspension. He was red carded at the end of the match.
Nick Haglin's still out. He'll be out long-term due to injury.
Regardless, it will be a very difficult task on Wednesday. We'll see if Ottawa can complete the upset through 180 minutes. Much more difficult than your regular cup competition, whether it's the FA Cup or the US Open Cup, to advance, just because you have to win over 180 minutes rather than 90.
Well, and as they learned last year in Vancouver, that road goal will be crucial, and that, I imagine, would almost be a must Wednesday night in Toronto.
Long throw taken here by Gonzalez for Richmond. This is headed away and comes forward to Ryan Williams. Flicks it on to Tucker Hume. Trying to get to the halfway line for Ottawa. Good defending here by Troyer. And it comes back to Gonzalez. Amura, now Gonzalez on the right. 20 yards out. Good cross, but it is grabbed by the keeper, Callum Irving. 31st minute in Ottawa, 1-0 Ottawa Fury FC. Yes, for Ottawa's sake, let's just hope they don't concede a penalty in the second minute again like they did last year in Vancouver. Up 2-0, just hoping to weather the storm, and boom, it was 2-1 on aggregate before you can even have a seat and get settled.
Yeah, the first 10-15 minutes in Toronto on Wednesday night is going to be crucial to what I expect the outcome of that game to result in. If Ottawa can stay the course, but at the same time still play their brand of soccer, they just have to be very mindful of their positioning and their responsibility defensively. But from what we saw over the course of 90 minutes Tuesday night, Ottawa never got away from their style of play, and that high line of pressure against a team that's very possession-based. When you take away that time and space, you force them to make quick passes, long passes, it changes their game more so than it does your own. And I think if Paul Dalglish's men can do the same thing on Wednesday night, they'll certainly be well positioned to give TFC another run for their money.
Yeah, parking the bus not in Paul Dalglish's nature, and certainly we won't see that on Wednesday. And why would you when you had success at home playing their style of play? Free kick here as Amora is fouled inside the Richmond half, and the Kickers will have a free kick in the 33rd minute. 1-0 Ottawa Fury FC. Mentioned the schedule for Richmond and how they're in the middle of a long stretch of matches. No different for Ottawa's. We'll get to that in a moment. Richmond 25 yards out, middle of the park. Laid off and played over the top. Flag is down. Kamara, and he's got the equalizer. It is Alhaji Kamara in the 34th minute, chesting it down and beating Callum Irving from close range. And, well, he's got in behind the defense a couple of times here today, and that time makes no mistakes. 1-1 is the score.
Well, the ball just chipped over the back line, and all four of Ottawa's defenders were just holding about 2 yards inside the 18-yard box, and that run was timed perfectly as he's able to sneak in behind the back four. Callum Irving, nothing he could do on that one, and the visitors have pulled even.
Ottawa looking to answer right away. Ryan Williams laying it off, but unable to connect with Cito, and here comes Kamara again. Far corner flag as he looks to work his way inside the Ottawa 18-yard box. Lays it off. And it's played out wide for Troyer. Now an effort from distance, and this goes on top of the goal and forces Callum Irving to get a fingertip on that and deflect it over for a corner. So Richmond certainly with their best pressure of the match. 35th minute, 1-1. It'll be Amura with the outswinging corner. Near corner flag. Here's the delivery. And Roseboom will head this clear. Campbell trying to keep it alive. He does. Andre Campbell lays this forward towards Ryan Williams, but Yambi will clear it out for an Ottawa throw just inside their own half. Ottawa Fury had played 5 matches in a 15-day stretch, going back to their previous 2 matches in the Canadian Championship against Edmonton. They had a week in between games, and now they're in the midst of another 5 in 15 stretches. Ryan Williams has it 25 yards out. He'll get this back, and here's Dixon. Trying to pick out Andre Campbell, but it's grabbed by the keeper Turner, and he'll push it forward for Richmond. Sekieri leaves it in the middle, but no white shirt there, and easy pickings for Jamar Dixon to start the counter for Ottawa. Dixon waiting for Edward, but he'll move it up the middle for Ryan Williams instead. Back to Roseboom. Now Jamar Dixon for Shane McElhinney, just inside the Richmond half. Dixon for McElhinney. Now Jamar Dixon, the Gatineau native. Shane McElhinney, the Irish Youth International. Now Dixon. Into the middle, Lance Roseboom. Wide left for Obasi. Plays it forward, Andre Campbell, the Jamaican international, with the cross, looking to pick out Hume. It's a little too far for him and cleared away. Dixon follows up as Ottawa retains possession here. Now McElhinney into the middle for Lance Roseboom. He'll play it for Williams, middle of the park, 35 yards out, wide left on Obasi, ahead for Campbell, 20 yards out near touchline. Now it's Obasi into the middle for Lance Roseboom. Roseboom lays it off. Here's McElhinney. Good possession here for Ottawa. We'll see if they can get that good ball through in the last third as Campbell plays it back to Obasi. Obasi near touchline into the middle for McElhinney. Now Dixon. Quick little 1-2 with McElhinney, and finally Richmond gets possession back, and Dixon wins it back though for Ottawa. Here's Jamar Dixon, good ball in for Cito, right-footed shot, 2-1, Ottawa Fury FC. Cito with his second of the match, 38th minute goal, and Fury back in the lead.
All the credit there to Jamar Dixon after it looked like it had been stolen away after some good possession from Fury FC. Jamar Dixon wins it back. Great challenge there to win the ball. And what a pass in for Cito, who rounds the keeper, cutting to the middle and then buries it bottom left post. And Cito with his second goal of the match. Now 5 goals in 5 contests for Cito. And Ottawa restores the lead.
Well, love a few things about that build-up for Ottawa Fury FC. I mean, the possession, very impressive, as here comes a potential answer, and it will be a corner for the Richmond Kickers. Far corner flag, and it'll be Amura who will take this. Get to the goal in a moment as Richmond impressively looking to answer right back. Now a header towards goal from Milan Roberts. And that's grabbed by the keeper, Callum Irving. So 40th minute, 2-1 Ottawa Fury FC. I like not just how they held possession for so long, they didn't push back.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important. We've seen that a lot this year where that's that crutch. Oh, you know what? I'm going to play it back to the keeper. I'm going to play it back inside my own half. They did not use it as a crutch there. Held possession, kept going forward with it, kept it in the final third, and it ends in an Ottawa goal.
And the only option inside their own half was Del Campo, and he was in the center circle, maybe 2 yards inside his own half.
Ooh, good ball from Andre Campbell here. The cross from the near touchline, and that's grabbed by the keeper, Turner.
But definitely some really good ball movement, and they were very patient while in possession. Just trying to find that seam to open up, and then when Dixon was able to win back possession, he was able to find that seam into the 18-yard box. Cito making that diagonal run right into the hole, and that's why Fury FC have restored the lead.
41st minute now. And a 2-1 Ottawa lead. Mentioned their goal scoring troubles in league play at home. I mean, they do have 11 total, so 9 of them on the road. Nice to see a couple for the home fans here. Free kick here, middle of the park, 40 yards out, and it comes back for a shot from close range about 15 yards out, and that is blocked. That was Milan Roberts who gave it a go. The defender, an ex-Fury player, as Kamara goes down in the 18-yard box, and referee says play on, no foul and no penalty for the kickers. But yes, 5-15 for Ottawa, and then another 5-15 after a week between games. This the third of those matches in a week. They'll play midweek Wednesday at Toronto. As Richmond send this forward again on the near side, but 3 players converge on Fernando, and Ottawa gets it back. And after that second leg, it'll be a trip to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, their first ever game against the Bethlehem Steel in league play. That'll be a week today. A week tomorrow, rather. 5 o'clock start on the Sunday. I guess it's 5 games in 16 days, Graham Ivory, but still a couple of busy stretches for Ottawa, and that's exactly how they'd want it, because if it was 3 matches in 16 days, they wouldn't be playing Toronto FC in the Canadian Championship semifinals, as Yombi can't clear this out, and it comes right to Eddie Edward, gets the cross in towards Ryan Williams, and it will be grabbed just outside the 6-yard box as the keeper Turner comes off his line to collect the ball.
And what perhaps might even be of greater importance during such a busy time is that the team is inching back to full health. Michael Salazar not available today because he is back with the Montreal Impact, who have some injury woes of their own. Carl Howarth is nearing return. Steven DeSantos should be back in the next week or maybe 2 if things don't continue to progress as they have been. So that will be another added advantage to Paul Dalglish to have that full roster to be able to choose from to pick his 18 or better yet his starting 11.
Fury in possession. It's Cito. Oh, good ball forward for Tucker Hume, but just can't get to it all. The flag was up for offside nonetheless, just a little bit behind the defender when that ball was played. Kamara can't keep possession as Ottawa has it just outside their penalty area, and sent back to the keeper Irving by Obasi, and this will be an Ottawa throw now, played out by Troyer.
Well, I think overall Paul Dalglish will be pleased with the first half from his side, and you know, if they can find something before halftime or in early in that second half, it will certainly do them a huge favor in terms of decisions with those 3 substitutions. Again, don't want to have too much of an eye on Wednesday's match, but the more rest you can give some of those players, the better.
Well, it is only the biggest in club history.
Yeah, no big deal.
I think we both agree on that now.
Well, and look, it could be an historic moment in the tournament because they would be the first kind of second division side, not including when it was just kind of the Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto kind of
Toronto
playing in
was
this,
really
right?
bad.
But it'd be the first time that you would see a club like Ottawa or FC Edmonton advance to the final round of the Canadian Championship. So it's a big moment.
Yeah, we did see Toronto lose to, well, the tournament was a different format back then too, 3 teams. As we've got 1 minute of stoppage time here in the first half, a minimum of 1 minute of stoppage time to be played. Much different tournament back then, a round robin format that, well, with 3 teams, a round robin format, as we'll find out in the 2026 World Cup, isn't exactly the greatest format because one team's sitting at home watching, hoping when the last match is taking place.
And it's disappointing right now because you have, with the number of teams, you have 5 right now. That'd be a great round robin format in my opinion, albeit it'll increase to 7 teams for next year with the League One Ontario side and PLSQ side, winners of those respective leagues joining the tournament. Format yet to be disclosed for that.
Great footwork again here by Onwo Bassi, able to beat a number of different defenders as the halftime whistle goes at TD Place. Very entertaining opening 45 minutes here at TD Place. And you're right, I think Paul Dalglish has to be very pleased. Hey, he promised entertaining, attacking football. That's exactly what that first half was. And the build up to that second goal, I think, was very impressive for Ottawa.
Yeah, and progress is everything with this team. And we've talked so many broadcasts, AJ, about trying to pull the positives out of this. And we'll see what Paul Dalglish has to say about that opening 45 minutes.
Go hear from him right now downstairs.
All 2-1 after 45 minutes. Just your general impressions of this first half.
Yeah, it's hot out there. The pitch is really dry, and you can see that it's not really suited to too much kind of fast passing, if you like. But the character our guys have shown, to go ahead and then conceding the goal and then going ahead again was fantastic. And the play before the second goal I was really pleased with. We've got to do a little bit more of that in the second half. I think with the conditions out there, we can't be as direct as we normally are. We've got to possess it a little bit more and conserve energy a little bit.
2 more goals here in the first half. That's now 8 in the last 3 games. What's the key to this recent defensive success?
Yeah, we had a chance to work on it. We just had so many games. We don't get outside until very late. We've only been training on a full-size pitch. We worked on the defence first, and we really improved that. Now we've worked on the offence, and now you're seeing that in the games. So if we can get the balance right, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's not a real hotbed for soccer. I would say that. I have an older brother. He's 8 years older than me, and you kind of want to emulate your older brother when you're very young. And he played soccer, and so I kind of wanted to follow in his footsteps, and that's kind of why I began playing. It's one of the defining moments in my life. I would say it was tough. It was a very tough time because I was supposed to likely play at Vancouver, and then I got hurt when we were training in LA. But looking back on it, it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. God does everything for a reason in my mind, and during that time that I was injured, I got to reflect. It probably humbled me a little bit, allowed me to maybe see things in a different light, and in that time I met my wife. So really it's probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. I take a great amount of pride, right? Because you had 2 really good captains here before me in Richie Ryan and obviously the great, legendary Julian de Guzman. No, I mean I take a lot of pride in it because it's a great city to live in. Ottawa's a great city. We have a great fan base. This organization, the facilities that we have, OSEG, we're taken such good care of. But there's a huge responsibility that comes with that, a big responsibility. We have, I say this, but we have a great group of guys. Like we have a great group of leaders on this team, not just me. I'm humbled and I'm honored, but we have a great team, so it's a great team to lead. It's tough sometimes to be away from them and to be on the road, but it's great. It's the biggest blessing in the world to be able to go home and see your little boy if you had a bad day at training. to see your little boy run around and want to come in, want to kick the soccer ball, and see the innocence in his eyes and the love that he has for the little things. It's amazing.
Well, welcome back to the Fury FC halftime show. Jenna Mosier alongside me, Tyler McDonald. A great first half for Ottawa Fury, leading 2-1 over the Richmond Kickers. Really seeing that offense come to form.
You know what? You could hear Coach Dalglish saying patience, patience, patience. And we really saw that in the second goal. They waited for the opportunity. They didn't rush it. And it was beautiful. Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Fantastic. And Jamar Dixon with the great work to get that ball back after that great possession that Fury had, and then a beautiful through ball as well. Cito with 2 on the night, and we'll see maybe if he can convert a hat trick. It would be his first, obviously, for Ottawa Fury FC this season. But, of course, what's trending this week is the massive win over Toronto FC on Tuesday night right here at TD Place as Ottawa Fury FC take a 2-1 aggregate lead into the second leg. Huge game Wednesday versus Toronto at BMO Field.
Yes, definitely a massive game. Now, the only people you hear complaining about the fact that they didn't start their starters was Toronto fans themselves. The team's only as strong as your bench, and the Ottawa Fury beat their bench.
And the surprising thing is that actually the players that didn't score in the game versus Ottawa Fury ended up winning and scoring versus Columbus in Toronto's game yesterday. They won 5-0 over the Columbus Crew, so they're on good form trying to come back from that win. You should expect some players maybe to come back, but there's a lot of players for Toronto FC that won't be able to come and play in that second leg. We'll take a look at a few of the players as well as Michael Bradley, Jose Altidore on international duty with the United States, and lots of injuries as well. You've got Nick Hagland, Sebastian Javinko, and of course Jonathan Osorio out all with injuries, and Edwards, who had that red card late in the second half for Toronto FC.
You just have to let that go. I mean, injuries are going to happen. That you just got to let it go and focus on the game ahead of you. Play with the players you have and just adjust your system accordingly.
Of course, for Ottawa, we're taking a look at some of the highlights from that game versus Toronto. It was something that in that first half, Coach Dalglish talked about how Toronto actually changed their formation, changed the style that they were expecting. And the second half, they made adjustments, and that's what ended up leading to the success that Fury had.
Yes, and that's just good coaching, right? Being able to adjust on the fly, being able to change as the other team changes maybe their system as well. And I think Dalglish's system is finally coming together. We're seeing that with the offense, and the key here is score goals, and we're seeing it this game.
Of course, and that's something that they're using Tucker Hume to their advantage up front. They have Tucker Hume up front, and of course they have Williams and Cito kind of a little bit behind them, lagging, but they're doing a good job of working toward him, working together as a three-man group up front, and that's where you're seeing those opportunities created, isn't it?
Yes, but the key is when you are giving the ball to Hume, even though he's tall, it's never easy to control a ball in the air. So if they can play to his feet, not necessarily his head, then you're going to see more opportunities for Cito and Williams on the outside.
Now, one thing to expect is, just before we go, is do you expect to see some substitutions here that could lead to the game on Wednesday, give some guys some rest? Maybe a Williams comes into mind, maybe a Tucker Hume comes to mind, a Cito, or do you take some of your defenders off? What do you expect?
I don't know. Dalglish, I think, is really enjoying what he's seeing on the field right now. We may see some subs later in the game, but I think right now they're going to stick to the front line, staying there solid. They don't look too tired out there. They're not paying a lot of kick and run either, which also helps with the legs. So I think we'll see the same team come out this half and playing just as well as they did the first.
Well, before Toronto, they got to focus on the last 45 minutes. Coach Paul Dalglish and the rest of his Ottawa Fury FC squad, 2-1 lead. They lead here in Ottawa. As we come back from break, we'll have second half action. Graham Ivory, AJ Jack back with the call. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout,
tip me over and pour me out. Oh. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The USL's all-time leading scorer has added another accolade to his resume.
Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again! Back-to-back games, 3 goals for Kelly.
Dane Kelly is now the only player in USL history to score back-to-back hat tricks. Kelly notched his first 3-goal game in Reno's first win in club history.
Carries the ball ahead. Into an attacking position. He scored in the 2nd minute.
Together before they get another goal.
Brown Kelly, that's 2 in 6 minutes. Kelly, he steps over and he puts it in off the post. That is a hat trick in the 66th minute.
The second occurred in front of a home crowd, leading Reno to their first ever win at Greater Nevada Field.
Brent Richards finds Kelly, and Dane Kelly! Goal! Kelly finds net again! Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again!
Kelly was honored with 2 USL Player of the Week recognitions following his back-to-back performances. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Got to get that mic going there. Welcome back inside TD Place. AJ Jakubek, Graham Ivory with you. And let's get to our halftime stats. They're brought to you by Rico. And we'll get you the stats in a moment, but let's get to the highlights first. And Graham, certainly a lot of exciting play in that first half. And we saw a couple of goals from Cito, one on the free kick, certainly one a little bit later on the great play from Jamar Dixon. But a couple of goals from Cito, and he remains red hot.
You know, Paul Dalglish said at halftime that he was really pleased with how they were going forward, and Cito was the most dangerous one going forward for Ottawa. Really like his movement on the ball when in possession. He always goes hard to goal, but it's never a straight line. His movement is always making those diagonal runs, and then also what he's doing when he's not in possession of the ball, trying to find some space, and that's what's made him so dangerous for Ottawa. 5 goals now in his last 5 matches in all competition. He's the hottest player for Fury FC right now.
Let's go to our halftime stats now. They're brought to you by Rico, making information work for Ottawa Fury FC. And a first half that featured total possession 58% for Richmond. The shots were 7-3 Richmond. Quite a few fouls in that first half, but it didn't really feel like a rugged first half as Richmond had 3 corners to Ottawa's 1.
Yeah, look, this is another game where, and we've said this for a few games now, that I don't think the statistics tell the tale of the match. We felt that Tuesday night against Toronto FC. You could probably even argue that in the game last Saturday against New York Red Bulls too. That game was all over the place. But I think that the biggest thing that Ottawa is doing right this afternoon is possession with a purpose. When they have the ball, it's very attack-minded. They're doing things. They're being creative. And I'm fine with the team not owning a lion's share of the possession or all the shots. It's the quality of the opportunity that you're making, that you're generating, that you're getting on goal. And I think through 45 minutes, Ottawa has the better of those opportunities.
All right, let's get back to second half action now as Ottawa Fury FC will move left to right in this second half with their all-red kits, the red shirts, shorts, and socks. The all-white kits for Richmond, white shirts, shorts, and socks, and the red numbers and trim. '46th minute, and a 2-1 Ottawa lead. 2 goals from Cito in the 9th and 38th minutes. Kamara scoring for Richmond in the 34th. And again, the 3-5-2 for Richmond with Turner in goal, Troyer, Roberts, and Yambi at the back. Fernando, Sekieri, Amura, Durkin, and Gonzalez in midfield. Kamara, the goal scorer, and Eske, the strikers up top for Ottawa, going with this 4-2-3-1 for the first time this season after playing a 3-4-3 throughout. Callum Irving in goal, Campbell, Del Campo, McElhaney, Edward at the back, Obasi and Roseboom above them. Then Cito, Dixon, and Williams with Hume, the lone striker, up top. As Fury in possession now, Williams for Edward. 25 yards out near touchline. McElhaney trying to play this through to Tucker Hume, but deflects out now for an Ottawa throw. McElhaney will take this. He'll play it long towards Hume. Flicks it on, but couldn't get it to Cito, and this will deflect out now for a Richmond throw.
Good pressure on the ball there from Ryan Williams to make sure that Richmond stay hemmed inside their own defensive third. And again, it's that high line of pressure, and sure it was easier on that last play because Ottawa was in the attacking third, but chasing down those loose balls, putting pressure on the defenders, not giving them an easy out of their own half. Now Ottawa wins it back inside Richmond's half.
Another throw here in the 48th minute for Ottawa Fury FC. Will be a free kick. So it'll be either Ryan Williams or Cito. And here's Cito with the delivery, left-footed, edge of the 6-yard box, and that's cleared out. Back to Eddie Edward, and he'll play it forward again. Flag is down, Hume, but coming off his line and launching it forward with his right arm as the keeper, Matt Turner, as Richmond looks to counter. Ball forward for Kamara, and he will win it. Now to Amura. 35 yards out. Plays this wide right. Fernando. Eske. Oh, good ball. And we're tied 2-2. It's the second of the game for Alhaji Kamara. And he had a free header from about a half yard out.
What a
great ball from Eske.
That was a fantastic delivery from Eske, and Kamara, all he needed to do was make any kind of contact on that ball, and it was going to find its way in. And he just makes that sneaking run in at the back post, gets in behind Shane McElhaney. Callum Irving unable to intercept that cross, and we are back level.
Well, it has been thoroughly entertaining when you get chances like this. You're going to see a few goals, and that's the way it's been so far, and I don't think we're done yet. Of course, Ottawa's last league match, their last match in the Cup, a 2-1 win over Toronto FC, but their last league match, a thrilling 4-3 win in New York against Red Bulls 2, a game where they trailed 3-2 until the 86th minute, and then a Michael Salazar goal tied it before Tucker Hume was brought down in the box, and Ryan Williams delivered with the late penalty to turn around what looked like no points into 3. Chested down here by Tucker Hume, about 25 yards out. Bounces in front of Cito, but headed away by Yombi, and Richmond will look to counter. Ball forward for Kamara. Both Kamara and Cito now looking for the hat trick today, as the ball for Kamara is beyond him. He was going one way, the ball went the other, and it will be a goal kick for Ottawa in the 51st minute. Ottawa Fury FC 2, Richmond Kickers 2.
Well, and that would be a first in Fury FC history. A lot of players have bagged a pair of goals in a match, but no one has yet to score 3 in a match. They've also yet to concede a hat trick in their 4 years.
Yeah, Oliver got stiffed in year 1 at Keith Harris Stadium. They threw in.
It was an own goal for sure. For sure.
I don't believe in own goals. If Perry Berezan can get credit for. Oh, here's good ball for Kamara again. Lays it off 20 yards out, a left-footed shot, and that is stopped. Is good effort there from Luis Fernando, and comes down to the keeper. And Irving will just keep it in his feet. If Perry Berezan can get credit for a goal that he dumped in and watched Steve Smith shoot into his own net.
Yes, but the problem was
is that Stanley Cup playoff series, then you can.
The last player to touch that ball was not Oliver, so it'd be someone else's goal.
Okay.
Don't make me bring the replay out.
Well, it was year 1 at Keith Harris Stadium, so we're talking a while ago. But the
says the guy who's talking about the Steve Smith goal.
It was only 31 years ago.
Yeah.
Here's Dixon winning a ball again. Strong game for Jamar Dixon today. I just think if you make a lot of own goals are the result of great plays, great crosses, great balls. I think you should get credit for that. So be it. So it went maybe unluckily off the defender. Why do we have to be so negative in society? Oh, here's a good ball in, and what a save there by Turner from about 10 yards out. Tucker Hume was able to get the shot off, and Turner saves this from being 3-2 Ottawa.
Well, and that brought everyone up from the Fury bench wanting a penalty call as Tucker Hume felt that he was getting pulled down from behind as he was getting that lunging shot away. Yombi certainly had a hold of his arm. I think that would have been a very generous penalty call, though.
Now Edward with a good run and a good ball, looking to pick out Ryan Williams, and it is headed out for an Ottawa corner. So the action fast and furious here at TD Place. 54th minute, 2-2 the score, and it'll be a corner from the near corner flag, likely a Cito left-footed in-swinging delivery. Ottawa putting Shane McElhaney in the 6-yard box, and 5 others inside the 18 as here's the delivery, and this is cleared out by Amora. Andre Campbell now halfway line for Ottawa. Launches it forward. Oh, it comes neatly down for Del Campo with a cross, and Milan Roberts clears it away from danger. Looking to counter Richmond down the right-hand side as they work it about 25 yards out. Good ball. That's sent across, and this is going to go out for a goal kick.
Wasted opportunity there for the Kickers. They were going forward with pace and numbers, but the final delivery well off the mark.
A reminder that every Monday, Ottawa's premier soccer show looks at the world of soccer from our local club teams. Ottawa Fury FC, European football, and the beautiful game across Europe and around the globe. It's Corner Kicks on TSN 1200.
with the always happy AJ Jakubek.
Look forward to the show on Monday again. See what I can fix in the world of soccer.
Oh dear, yeah, the commissioner. I think we should roll with that. We'll change the name key in the broadcast. Just the commissioner. Graham Ivory and the commish.
I've already decided we're going to 64 teams instead of 48 in the World Cup. Get rid of this nonsense format with, I don't mind the expansion. Just get rid of the nonsense 3-team groups. It doesn't work. One team sitting at home all the time. Fury push forward. Here's Cito. Into the middle for Ryan Williams. Oh, he's clipped from behind. Referee plays the advantage here.
Oh, that's got to be a yellow card coming back.
Here's Edward now, edge of the penalty area. Edward is knocked down. And we are getting a yellow card.
2 yellow cards here.
This free kick is going to be just outside the 18-yard box for Ottawa, and it'll be likely Cito with the effort from 18 or 19 yards out as Eddie Edward and Ryan Williams fouled. So likely Cito from this spot. Again, a yard outside the Richmond penalty area. Right of center. You could see a surprise Ryan Williams right-footed delivery, but unlikely. Oh, it's laid off for Cito, and the left-footed effort is deflected out for a corner, and that's why you have both of them there, just to keep the opposition off balance. It was Williams who got the first touch. 4,294 the attendance here this afternoon at TD Place. My guess of 4,000 plus was right on point. Here's the delivery on the free kick. Taken quickly.
Yeah, it's like you had an insider or something.
Yeah, it's almost like someone from Ottawa Fury FC let me know that they had sold over 4,000 tickets today. 58th minute, 2-2 as Richmond looks to counter here. Eske, far touchline. Troyer will take this off his chest. Now to Sekieri. Amura. Sekieri with Thole. Good ball for Kamara. And there it is. It's the hat trick. It is Alhaji Kamara, the first ever hat trick at TD Place. 59th minute goal, and Richmond has the lead, 3-2.
Well, something almost out of nothing after some good work going the other way by Ottawa Fury FC. A ball played into the box and really no one taking ownership of it. Over the head of Shane McElhaney. Obasi can't close down Alhaji Kamara, and he's able to poke it past Callum Irving at the back post. Well, we saw a barn burner of a match last weekend in New York, and looks like we're going to get the same here this afternoon at TD Place, with Richmond now taking the lead for the first time, up 3-2.
If I'm not mistaken, did the scoreline go exactly the same? 1-0 Ottawa, 1-1 New York, 2-1 Ottawa, 2-2 New York, 3-2 New York.
We're going down the same path, AJ.
Well, they're hoping it's going to be a complete repeat start to finish, but they have a lot of work to do. I know a lot of time left, though, 60th minute here, and now we're going to see two substitutions. Sergio Minicio and Jimmy Shamar Sano are going to come on. Jamar Dixon and Cito will come off, so we will not see a home hat trick here today. At least if we do, it's going to be a 5-3 scoreline. Here's the delivery from Eddie Edward into the penalty area, but off his line is Matt Turner to grab it for Richmond. Richmond still has all three of their subs available to them. Richmond back in possession as they play it all the way back to the keeper Turner through Yombi. As they move it around far touchline. And this will deflect out for a Richmond throw. We've played just over an hour now at TD Place, and you have to think we haven't had a lot of days like this in the spring in Ottawa. I mentioned the temperature beforehand, 24 degrees Celsius right now. Partly cloudy, but certainly humidity a factor. There's been so much rain in Ottawa, a record-setting year, flooding in various areas, including Gatineau, across the river. 42% humidity today, but it certainly feels like a hot and humid day up here. And you can imagine for the players, maybe a little more worn down than they have been just through that compared to their previous home games, which have all been rainy or relatively mild or cool. Hydration certainly important whenever you can get some water. Fury pushing forward now, Ryan Williams. Ahead Lance Roseboom, 30 yards out, middle of the park. Gets this wide right. Eddie Edward takes a touch, looking to get to the byline. He does, now with a cross, and it is just over the head of Ryan Williams as it's cleared out, but well, they're going to call a foul against Sergio Minicio, and this will be a free kick just outside the Richmond 18-yard box for the Kickers, leading 3-2 in the 63rd minute here at TD Place.
AJ, just having a look at kind of the goals for and against inside the opening 7 games of the season. Ottawa scoring 5, conceding 6, had 4 shutouts, and that's in all competition, including the Canadian Championship. Since then, they've played 5 games. They've scored 11, but conceded 9 with no shutouts. So that reliable defense that kind of found its way after that opening match loss at the start of the season when they fell 3-2 in St. Louis, and then defense just looked rock solid in the 6 games to follow. They've conceded now 9 goals in their last 5 contests.
Good challenge there by Ramon Martin del Campo as it's played back to Callum Irving here. And he'll get this forward for Tucker Hume. Flicked on, looking to spring Ryan Williams, but Richmond back in possession. And now it'll be an Ottawa, off Ottawa for a Richmond throw.
No other games in the USL this afternoon, but FC Cincinnati will be home to Toronto FC 2. They kick off at 5 o'clock this evening, and then 7:30, Orlando home to Charlotte. Tampa Bay Rowdies will take on St. Louis. 8 o'clock, Colorado home to Reno, 8:30.
Ooh, good ball by Amura as it's Kamara down the right, already on a hat trick. Able to cross this into the middle, but cleared out. Nobasi's got it. Picks out Andre Campbell. Looking to counter for Ottawa, into the middle for Sergio Minicio. Now to Campbell, inside the Richmond half. Andre Campbell cuts inside. Now Minicio, center circle for the captain, Lance Roseboom. Good ball, 25 yards out. It's Williams trying to pick out Hume, and important clearance by Yambi. And Richmond will get it back. Eske, but good read by McElhaney to win it back. Doesn't have it for long. Sekieri fouled by Minicio. Free kick Richmond inside their own half. 66th minute. 3-2, Richmond leads. As they go forward, far touchline. Comes to Amora, middle of the park. Now to Troyer, Sekieri. SK now to Troyer. Sekieri. Looking to pick out Kamara, and he got ahead to that, but it goes right to the keeper, Irving, and he'll hold on here in the 67th minute.
Well, Haji Kamara has been capped 4 times by Sierra Leone, and he's a DC United Discovery claim.
Here's Tucker Hume now inside the Richmond 18-yard box, forced out by Yambi. Gets it all the way back to Onwo Bassi. Into the middle, Lance Roseboom. A little too much on that towards Williams, and this is played out of touch by Troyer for an Ottawa throw. McElhaney will look to play this long. No, he'll get it back to Ramon Martin del Campo. Now McElhaney with the cross. Good ball. Sano couldn't get to it, but Campbell with the cross. Oh, and Ryan Williams just couldn't get that on target from 6 yards out. He had an open net in front of him, but that ball was coming at him at a good speed and couldn't direct it on target. If it was, it's 3-3.
Yeah, not sure if Ryan Williams was ready for that one, if he thought Campbell was just going to put his boot through it and try and find the back of goal, but comes right to Ryan Williams, and first touch right into the path of Matt Turner.
Well, the chances are there for both teams, and I don't know what the score is going to end up, Graham, but I don't think we're done at 3-2.
No, like both teams playing very open, which is a stark contrast to the first time these two teams met back on the 15th of April.
Oh, here's Andre Campbell now winning it, 20 yards out, far touchline. Campbell with a cross, and Yambi will clear it out for an Ottawa throw.
Campbell might have had a better option to try and cut it back high with Sano making the run in there.
Ball in for Tucker Hume, edge of the 6-yard box. Lays it off, Roseboom the shot. It's blocked, Roseboom again, and the captain makes it 3-3. It's Lance Roseboom in the 69th minute for Ottawa Fury FC.
Oh, you were dead right, AJ. The scoring wasn't done, and hey, it still may not be, but the captain, Lance Roseboom, with the relentless attitude, finds some space. Great job by Tucker Hume to hold up the ball. Roseboom had his first shot blocked, finds the loose ball and buries it top corner to pull Ottawa back level.
I still don't think we're done. This might end up 5-4. It's been a fantastically entertaining contest here today between Ottawa Fury FC and the Richmond Kickers.
Well, that's his second goal in club history, Lance Roseboom. His one goal last year came in a win over Minnesota United, so statistically speaking, Ottawa always wins when Roseboom scores.
So Roseboom the goal, adding to Cito's pair, countering the hat trick from El Hadji Kamara. Free kick Ottawa inside their own half. Irving takes this over the head of Tucker Hume. And this is given up possession right to Andre Campbell again. Here's Campbell. Good work to keep possession. He's pushed down. Penalty. Referee points to the spot as Campbell is fouled inside the box. And Fury FC will have a chance to regain the lead from the spot. Should mention a substitution for Richmond as Evan Lee has replaced Luis Fernando.
Andre Campbell remains down on the far side, and they immediately signaled for athletic therapist Sean Pereira to come over. I think he might have done something on his left hand when he was going to ground. I don't know if he's done something to his wrist or dislocated a finger. But it'll be Ryan Williams, who has scored from the penalty spot in each of the last two matches, who's waiting over the penalty spot right now, looking to send Ottawa back into the lead. And if successful, the scoreline today would follow almost identical, not the same minutes, but the identical way that it all unfolded last Saturday in New York.
Well, it will be Ryan Williams who converted on that late penalty to win it in New York against Red Bulls 2 to try and give Ottawa the lead here. 72nd minute penalty, and he stopped. It's a great save by Matt Turner, who guessed the right way. The shot went to Ryan Williams' right, and the keeper Turner guessed to his left, dove, got his hands to it, and it remains 3-3 here in the 73rd minute. Now, a corner is won by Eddie Edward as he deflects this off Sekieri out. Wow, the action in the second half just not stopping. And the first half was good, but this second half is just something else. And they're calling handball here, so it won't be a corner. Sekieri called for handball, so it'll be a free kick for Ottawa. Halfway between the edge of the 18-yard box and the near touchline, about 10 yards out, and it'll be, well, either Williams or Jimmy Chamar-Sanon to take this. Ryan Williams with the delivery, and it's headed in. It is Tucker Hume with the goal in the 73rd minute. Williams misses the penalty, but delivers a perfect ball to Hume, who heads it home. Ottawa Fury FC 4, Richmond Kickers 3.
Well, if this isn't one of the best Fury FC games you've ever seen, I'd like to know what would top it. Just what an unbelievable second half. A fantastic delivery by Ryan Williams, and Tucker Hume able to redirect it past Matt Turner. And it actually looks like it goes off the chest of Tucker Hume.
Are we done now? I mean, I'm reluctant to say yes. Especially with this guy, Alhaji Kamara out there already with a hat trick.
Well, what's crazy is that you look at Richmond so far coming into today's match, they've played 10 games and there's been 12 goals, 5 for them, 7 for the opponents in those 10 games. Well, we've got 7 here in one afternoon. And I'm sure that Paul Dalglish would like to see his reliable defensive side return, but I'm sure he's also very pleased with the way that offense is going for his side.
So Sonny Janae has now come on as he replaces Jackson Eske up top. And also, we'll have to get official word on that third substitution. '76th minute, and it's 4-3 Ottawa Fury FC. Richmond looking to add to the excitement here as they work it to the far side. Tucker Hume able to win a free kick here for Ottawa. Richmond certainly seems to be attacking on the right side a lot more than on the left. That's been a focal point of their attack as William Yombi has been replaced by Mikey Minotillo. That's the third and final substitution. Fury now, Ryan Williams, quick turn. Cross through the penalty area, and this will be out for a Richmond throw. Tucker Hume was down. Referee was calling for treatment, but he's okay. He's up and walking it off. The ex-North Carolina Tar Heel certainly knows this is regular spring and fall weather, not summer weather down there. Love the Carolinas and Virginia. One of my favorite part of the world, Graham Ivory.
I don't know, you never invite me on your road trips.
Well, the next one will probably be...
I'm driving on Wednesday.
December. In case you want to join me then after Fury season and Red Black season come to a conclusion. Fury work it forward for Jimmy Chamar-Sanon. Just inside the Richmond half. Good ball, and just a little too much on it for Tucker Hume to catch up to. And Troyer will go forward for Richmond, but McElhaney got a touch on it, and this will go out for a Richmond throw as we now enter the 79th minute at TD Place. Ottawa Fury FC leads 4-3 over Richmond, and this guy in possession right now, Alhaji Kamara, with a hat trick for Richmond, so don't go away yet. This one far from over as The cross is played in by Durkin, and this is cleared away by Anu Obasi, but Richmond back in possession. Good job by Campbell to send it clear, but it will be a free kick here for Richmond. This will be about 25 yards out. Right of center. Here's the delivery from distance towards goal, and that's way over the bar. Raul Gonzalez with the effort and unable to hit the target. 80th minute goal kick for Ottawa, leading 4-3 over Richmond.
Well, AJ, breaking down how we ended up where we are now through 80 minutes. It was the 9th minute goal from Cito on a free kick. Richmond were able to respond through Kamara in the 34th minute. Wusu Sakiri drawing the assist on that one. And then 38th minute, Cito from Jamar Dixon restored the Ottawa lead, which they carried 2-1 into halftime. 5 minutes into the second half, Kamara got his second of the afternoon to pull it 2-2. And then we had Kamara getting the hat trick in the 59th minute, followed by Lance Roseboom in the 69th minute to restore things back level at 3 apiece. And then Tucker Hume from Ryan Williams in the 73rd minute has Ottawa in front 4-3 for the moment.
As the ball comes to Troyer for Richmond, 30 yards out, moves it into the middle, Durkin. Durkin onto his left foot, gives it an effort and misses high, and that one goes well over the bar to some jeers from the hometown supporters. Goal kick Ottawa in the 81st minute, and of course, you mentioned the goals by Roseboom and Hume in the 69th and then the 73rd minute respectively. Of course, sandwich in between there was a penalty miss from Ryan Williams to make it even more interesting on this day. As Campbell leads the attack down the left. Good ball for Ryan Williams. Lays it off. Tucker Hume. He'll lay it off. Menicio, and just couldn't hit the target from 20 yards out. But that was fun to watch again from Ottawa Fury FC, as Sergio Menicio just missed on that shot wide of the far post.
Well, the buildup has been fantastic all day from Ottawa. Some great runs down both sides. Good ball work, especially inside the 18-yard box, where there's usually a lot less time and space with which to work. Good delivery there from Andre Campbell. Right idea from Ryan Williams, kind of putting his foot down on the ball to find another option.
So, free kick here right of center from about 25 yards out. And here's the delivery headed towards goal, but this will be wide for a goal kick.
Jonathan Barden getting ready on the touchline to come into this match for Ottawa Fury.
Ottawa looking to close this out and move into mid-table, move into the top 8, which are the playoff spots in the East. I think top 4 has got to be the goal for this Ottawa side to host a playoff game at least.
Well, coming into today's match, they were 6 points out of the top 4, 2 points out of a playoff spot, and 17 points behind first place Charleston Battery.
This will be a tactical substitution for Ottawa's Tucker Hume out for the more defensive-minded Jonathan Barden. Hume with a go-ahead goal here today, 73rd minute. Man, love his game getting better each and every time out. The rookie at a UNC.
Third straight start this afternoon and second straight USL match that he's tallied for Ottawa.
Here comes Kamara, though, 25 yards out, looking to lay it off on the left, and coming back was Eddie Edward to win this, and he's clearly fouled by Sonny Janae. And that'll be a yellow card for Sonny Janae as well, as Janae probably frustrated a little bit that that ball wasn't on point from Kamara, because they had space and numbers attacking the Richmond Kickers.
How about that run from Eddie Edward there? Just found the angle to get around Janae and just turned on the Jets and left, leaving Janae with no choice but to bring down the Ottawa native.
So 85th minute, 4-3 Ottawa Fury. Free kick inside their own half. Stepping up to take it is the keeper Irving, and this will be over the head of Sanon and out for a goal kick. Troyer steps up and wins this header, but McElhaney is back to collect it for Ottawa, plays it to the halfway line. Troyer again with the header for Richmond. Now Sonny Janae on the ball. Comes forward on the left for Kamara. 15 yards out. Now inside the penalty area. Nice step over with the cross. And it's a very important challenge there to deflect it out from Sergio Minicio. Corner for Richmond. Boy, Kamara so dangerous going forward.
Yeah, just 23 years of age. Also played in the Swedish top flight with Djurgården. Great challenge there by Benicio.
Here's the corner, in-swinger from Amora, right-footed effort. And we've got a free kick for Ottawa Fury FC as Milan Roberts, the ex-Fury defender, called for the foul. Into the 87th minute at TD Place. Fury leading 4-3. Sanon putting some pressure on that Richmond defense, but they are able to get it to the halfway line. Amora for Janae. Durkin in the middle. Trying to spring Sekiri on the right. Campbell there to get it away from him, but couldn't keep it in play, so this will be a Richmond corner now from the far corner flag. 87th minute. They're not going to waste much time on this as they push people forward inside the 18-yard box. 5 white shirts in there right now. Amura's going to make it 6. Here's the delivery, and it comes down inside the 6-yard box, and it is cleared away. Wow. Opportunity knocking there for Richmond and the equalizer, but Ottawa somehow able to scramble that away from danger as it comes back inside the Richmond 18-yard box for Turner ahead. Troyer will play this wide right. Sekiri. Now it comes to Sonny Janae, middle of the park. And now an effort from Minicio from 20 yards out, but not really troubling the keeper Irving too much on that. He scoops it up in the 88th minute. It was John Barden with that important clearance inside the 6-yard box for Ottawa off that Richmond corner. Now in the 89th minute, Richmond again pushing for the equalizer. It's Durkin, halfway line. Plays this to his right. Gonzalez now, Sonny Janae. His ball almost met by Eddie Edward, but Troyer gets it now to Amura. Troyer towards Amura, and Manicio will shepherd this out for a goal kick for Ottawa Fury. So goal kick as we enter the 90th minute at TD Place. Ottawa Fury FC leading 4-3. McElhaney ahead for Jimmy Shamar Sanon. The Haitian Canadian lays it ahead, and it comes back to Eddie Edward. He'll send it to the center circle. Minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. We're hearing a minimum of 5 minutes of stoppage time to be played here. I didn't see 5 minutes, but maybe I'm missing something. Oh, we're hearing minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time. All right, here's Fury countering. Good ball through to Sanon. In behind the defense, flag is down, and there it is. It's his first goal for Ottawa Fury FC, and that will finish it in stoppage time. It's Jimmy Shamar Sanon. Ottawa Fury FC 5, Richmond Kickers 3. Wow, what a game this afternoon at TD Place.
A great run by Jimmy Shamar Sanon, and that's the type of goal that this guy scores. So much pace. And a fantastic run. And that was a clinical finish, a goal scorer's finish to slot it past Matt Turner, the most goals scored in a single match. 8 goals now between the two sides. 5-3. Ottawa Fury FC will come away with the win here this afternoon.
Here's Sekieri now trying to answer for Richmond. Lays it back out. Oh, good effort from distance from Sonny Janae, and that one went off the stanchion and holding up the nets. It was a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time. I was wondering, when we were getting word it was 5, that I'm like, where did that come from? There hasn't been any injuries or substitutions.
30 seconds per goal.
Yeah, well then you'd get 5 minutes, I guess.
Well, we've had 5 goals in this second half. Good grief.
5 goals and a missed penalty. Well, Fury about to move up in the table. Up to 12 points. And there is the final whistle here at TD Place as Ottawa Fury FC, they move to 12 points, and they're in a tie for 6th right now in the USL East with a 5-3 win today over the Richmond Kickers in one of the most entertaining matches we've seen Ottawa Fury FC ever play in the 4-year history of this club.
Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to top what we witnessed here this afternoon. Everyone loves goal scoring, and this game had goals, this game had chances. Bit of feistiness here and there, but for me it was the stark contrast from what we saw back on the 15th of April when Ottawa recorded their first ever win in USL, beating Richmond 1-0 on a goal that Steven DeSantos scores from the halfway line. That game was destined to finish 0-0. Well, the game here this afternoon, we could have seen 10, 12, maybe more goals scored between the two sides. A fantastic afternoon. some great performances by the forwards on both teams. Really got to love the effort from both teams on a really hot afternoon as well.
Man of the match today, well, we've got to go to, a lot of different candidates, but we'll go with the man who scores 2 for Ottawa. It's Cito.
Yeah, look, Cito is in impeccable form right now for Ottawa Fury FC. He's scored 5 goals in his last 5 matches in all competition, and he's the guy that they need to have going hot right now. And you have to wonder, there may be a bit of a push coming. Know that a guy like Carl Howarth is about ready to come back healthy, because then you're going to have some tough decisions going forward. Who plays in that top 3? You've already got Cito, Tucker Hume with DeSantos injured, and Ryan Williams up there. But when DeSantos and Howarth come back healthy, well, Paul Dalglish is going to have to make some tough decisions in that starting 11. But regardless of that, Cito, fantastic again this afternoon. 2 very clutch goals, clinical in his finishing, and a few other chances as well.
A reminder that Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. Visit NikeSoccer.com for more information. Next broadcast comes to you, well, on the radio side, it's Wednesday, and we're really looking forward to this one. You could maybe say it's the Soccer Bowl. You could maybe say it's last year's second leg in Vancouver, but it's certainly up there. Biggest game in club history. Wednesday night, TSN 1200, Ottawa Fury FC at BMO Field in Toronto to take on Toronto FC. And then Sunday, they continue their USL climb as they visit Bethlehem Steel. On behalf of our entire crew, Graham Ivory, I'm AJ Jakubek. So long from TD Place. Final score again, Ottawa Fury FC 5, Richmond Kickers 3. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This has been Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
This copywritten telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.